Hello everyone, today I'm here with Logan Nettles. I'm not sure if I pronounce it wrong, also right, also known as Jaberwocki. Hello.
Hey, how's it going?
It's going good. I have to admit about something. I'm sorry, wait, were you about to say something?
You got the name right.
Oh, okay. I have to admit about something. Usually before I make an interview, I actually message the person beforehand and I ask him about what he's doing, what kind of hobbies does he have, so that I can prepare better and ask better questions, but I actually forgot to do that this time. So, it's gonna be more difficult this time, but I'm gonna try my best. For people who don't necessarily know you, you obviously played a bunch of Pro Tours and stuff, and you have some success in real life Magic, but you're mostly known as a Jaberwocki on Magic Online, right?
Yeah, definitely. That is accurate. I mean, I'm flattered that I was, I guess, known enough that you reached out to me. But yeah, definitely more known for online, I would say.
Oh, would you just assume that I wouldn't know you?
I think that, I mean, I know who you are, so I'm the pros or semi-pros all kind of know each other. So I know that you would know me, but I'm definitely, a step below the top pros or whatever. So didn't really expect to get a message from you, but I appreciate it.
Well, I think it's a nice spin, right? I think it's very interesting. There are not that many people like you who have a lot of success online, but maybe, I mean, I'm not saying you didn't have success in real life, but maybe you weren't focusing on that as much and stuff like that. So, there's a lot of things to talk about. Before we get to Magic, I would like to talk about so that people can get to know you better about stuff outside of Magic. As I said in the beginning, I actually forgot to ask, so I don't know if you're doing anything interesting, but if you can just talk about yourself, not necessarily work, you can also talk about it as well, of course, but what you do for fun, anything basically. So if you can go ahead.
Yeah, I guess the thing that Magic people most likely don't know about me is I'm really into basketball. I played all through high school and still play a lot. I've actually been playing pretty much every day. So that's kind of my active passion. I'm also into poker a lot. I played poker, during the time I was playing Magic. There were years where I was more focused on poker as my main thing. So those are my biggest interests besides Magic, just poker and basketball. And I have a very sort of obsessive, kind of addictive personality, which people can probably infer from how much I play Magic Online. So yeah, I really go hard on those hobbies.
You said that that you play basketball every day. Are you playing it just outside with your friends, or are you playing any leagues or anything like that?
Yeah, so I just go to a local park, or it's a school, and I used to just go play, shoot around and just try to get some exercise. And I just randomly bumped into some guys playing pickup games, and now I'm in a group with them. And I used to play at a gym twice a week. That got shut down with COVID, but yeah, I've been playing outside with a group of guys, which I maybe a little bit taboo, or I don't know if that's the right word, but because COVID's still going.
Oh.
But it's been a long time and it's outdoor, so but yeah, I play with people. outside.
So you don't actually like play any like official matches or anything like that. It's just like for fun, basically.
Before COVID, I played
yeah.
in men's league, but mostly just get together, pick up games and stuff. And I'm a big NBA fan, so I live in Southern California, so been a Lakers fan since like Kobe and Shaq, and I watched the Lakers like almost every game.
You said that you have like a very addictive personality. Were you like addicted as a kid as well, like maybe with like World of Warcraft or like something similar to that? Did that happen to you?
Yeah, that's funny that you brought that up. I actually started with Warcraft 2. Warcraft 2.
Yeah, I remember. I played it as well a little bit.
I think it came out like the mid 90s, and I got, my mom bought it for me when I was like 7 or 8. And then when I was like 11 or 12, I was playing on BattleNet competitively. Or not, like, I wasn't playing in tournaments, but I was like high on the ladder as a little kid. And then Warcraft 2 moved into Warcraft 3, and those are real-time strategy games, so it's like it's about actions per minute, how quickly you can use your fingers on your keyboard. So I was like, it's a lot different than World of Warcraft, basically, and so yeah, I was way into real-time strategy games. Less so those like RPGs like WoW and Final Fantasy and stuff. So yeah, I played a ton of, like, all through junior high. I was way addicted to Warcraft 3, playing all day, every day. So yeah, like you said, that any time I'm into something, I just really obsess over it and do it a lot.
Let's talk about Magic. When did you actually start playing? Like, I remember that, when I like started, I mean, I'm playing online for like a very long time, but when I was like serious about grinding, that's probably like 8 years ago. You were already there, I think. So you're probably playing for a very long time, right?
Yeah, I learned how to play in 1995. I was only 6 years old. 4th edition and Ice Age were like the sets that were in the stores at the time. And I didn't stick to it for very long because I was so young, and basically my friends couldn't hang, so I just didn't have a lot of people to play with. I have an older brother, but I was very like, in and out of playing, and that lasted for a really long time, like all the way from 95 until 2010. I would like take a year off and then come back, and so on and so forth. And around, or not 2010, maybe 2008, I was in college. And Reed Duke is my cousin, which most people know.
I actually didn't know that.
You didn't know that?
No, I didn't know that.
Oh, okay, yeah. So Reed's my cousin. So we were chatting, like messaging each other. We were both in college. He was on the East Coast, I was on the West Coast, and he was like, one day he's like, "Hey, dude, John Finkel is in the top 8 of Kuala Lumpur." It was like, I think it was 2008, maybe 2009, but it was like John Finkel had made a comeback and top 8'd the Pro Tour after, being the best in the late 90s and then not playing. And in the late 90s, John Finkel was like Michael Jordan to me, because it was just like, oh wow, like he's the best, like, and it was like this untouchable kind of celebrity thing. So I thought it was so badass that he was back, and it was like 2 a.m. But I fired up the coverage, and I watched the draft, and he won the Pro Tour, and I was like so excited about that, and really like that inspired me to just play more. And so during college, I was already playing a ton of poker online, started to play a lot of Magic online, and me and Reed started playing PTQs and the mocks. And we both won a mocks, or for the same one, in Chiba, Japan. So that was my first Pro Tour in 2010.
Was it a Mox event, or was it a Pro Tour? Oh, you mean you mean you won a Mox, but it qualified you for a Pro Tour, right? Or something like that.
Yeah, exactly. It was the Mox was Worlds 2010 in Japan, and the Mox was at Worlds, and we got to play Worlds.
Oh.
So it was crazy because we played Worlds like all day Friday, and then at night we played the Mox. So it was just like,
oh, there was just like two huge tournaments right behind each other. That's like super weird. Like, was that actually the case?
It was like the normal Pro Tour.
Yeah.
You know, the big room, all the players. So you play, and then like 6 p.m. or whatever, that ends, and we would walk like 100 feet to this little sectioned off area of computers and play the mocks from like 7 p.m. until like 10 p.m.
Oh.
So,
okay.
Yeah, it was like.
Was it the
whatever.
same? Was it the same formats, or was it different?
It was the same formats. It was extended and standard, but the mocks had a special draft format also.
Oh.
But yeah, it was just like a ton of Magic, obviously, but that really like, you know, lit the fire even more, I guess. And then I just kept PTQing. But what actually happened was me and Reed were both like new, like, you know, kind of breaking out. We won. We were both starting on the Pro Tour, and we both played in like GP Montreal, and we both had 14 pro points. Like, it was kind of funny how similar our starts were. But okay, so he top 8'd that GP, and I scrubbed out of it, and from there, like, that kind of put him on the track to be a successful professional player, because, you know, that led to him chaining Pro Tours, and he won the next mocks, and I just like I failed to re-queue, so I was back in the trenches playing PTQs and moxes again online. And so because of that, I started to like develop this brand of being this Magic Online boss, because I was back just PTQing and moxing, and I just like kept top 8ing events but not winning. And when you're in that PTQ stage, you have to get first place. That's what's so brutal about PTQing. Is like,
you don't have to tell me about that. I had my fair share of that.
Yeah. So like between 2011 and 2016, I was just top 8ing PTQs over and over, but not winning. And so I wasn't on the Pro Tour, but I was just like, I built this sort of brand as being like a Magic Online crusher, I guess. So yeah, I guess that's how it started and how it developed. And yeah, just the nature of my personality. I just played a ton and did well, and so that's how people got to know me.
Yeah, I was actually curious about that. Like, I didn't actually know you that much before this, so I just like always assumed that you're maybe not like trying to qualify for PT and become a pro as much, but you just like grind online because it's just like comfortable or something. So you're saying that wasn't necessarily the case. You just like didn't have a choice, or?
Yeah, exactly. That's why it kind of hurts, because I really wanted to be on the Pro Tour that whole time.
Okay.
Like 2012, 2013, I was watching from home and just like burning with envy and jealousy, you know, like every time. And but my thing was, I didn't play Grand Prix because I couldn't really justify for myself to travel to a Grand Prix and do badly and, like, you know, spend $500 to $1,000 and not have anything come out of it.
Mm-hmm.
So that's why I stayed on the Magic Online track. And I don't know. I think it's easier to qualify if you're playing GPs rather than just PTQing all the time. But I just limited myself because I wasn't willing to pay the travel costs.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, I mean, I wish I had gotten to play all those Pro Tours. So yeah, it wasn't the case for me. I just either wasn't good enough or wasn't lucky enough, like didn't win at the right time. And it got to a point where it kind of got in my head, like I probably top eighted like 15 PTQs without winning. And then
That's crazy.
when I top eighted like my 16th and my 17th, like the top 8 would be starting and I'd be like, here we go again, like I'm gonna get second or top 4 or whatever. And so like my mentality started to become negative, and I'm like, well, I'm just gonna lose again in the top 8. And you know, that kept happening. So I finally did win one in 2016, and you know, that kind of helped me. You know, finally I broke through, and you know, the last 3 years or whatever, I was on the Pro Tour and actually a pro player. So I finally got there in the end, I guess.
Yeah, I wanted to ask about that because, you know, I remember that, you know, the past couple of years before like the MPL happened, you were actually playing the Pro Tours. Did you like reach actual like gold level, or what was your standing there? Because I'm sorry to interrupt. It's actually not that easy. Like people usually think that, you know, they're, as you're saying, they're like top 8ing these PDQs, but they like think that once they like qualify, like it's, you know, everything's gonna be fine and they're just gonna keep requalifying. But it's actually not that easy. Like you have to like X5, and even if you do, it doesn't necessarily mean that you're gonna end up with like any level. So, you know, I'm just curious, like how did you actually manage to make it in the end?
Yeah, so I got really fortunate because once I queued, I immediately got to test with the Pantheon because Reed, you know, me and Reed are so close, and so I just was lucky that he's like, hey, you want to test with us? And I'm like, of course. So I had a really good team right away, and for me it was just getting lucky at the right times. Like I got second in a Grand Prix, and then like my next focus was to get silver, and then, you know, it's like you said, it's very difficult because you do have to go like X5 or better, you know, several times in a row. But I was just able to do that. And so yeah, just a bunch of consistently solid results. And once I hit silver and hit gold, then I was willing to travel to Grand Prix. And so it was sort of that snowball, like, momentum effect. And yeah, I actually was able to hit platinum in like 2019, right when at the tail end of it, when the whole system was changing. So I got to be platinum for the last year, just with you know, a lot of like 10-6 Pro Tour finishes, and I won a Grand Prix and got second in a Grand Prix. So yeah, it was awesome. 2018, 2019, getting a taste of like what I always wanted of, you know, being a real pro. And, you know, I got to play with KMC Genesis, with Seth and Brad, BBD, Shahar, and Corey, and that was just awesome. So yeah, I'm really grateful for the experience.
How did it feel that, like, you know, you're like trying so hard for, like, you know, to achieve being a pro player, you eventually get there, you even like want to win a GP and stuff, and then they suddenly like got it and we're just like all screwed. Like, how do you feel about that?
Yeah, I have mixed feelings about it, because I mean, obviously it sucks. Like when they made the MPL announcement, it sucked not to be in it, but it was like also something new to pursue, and, you know, something really exciting, like serious money. So it sucked, but like it also sort of lit a fire for me to want to try even harder, try even more. But I don't know. It's obviously the last 2 years have just been like a mess with WotC, with COVID, and I'm just so like in love with the game that regardless of the situation, like if things are going well for pro play or if they're going really poorly, like it's really hard for me to get away from playing the game, because I just really enjoy the mental like stimulation of figuring things out and puzzle solving through the games. So right now, like I really dislike the way things are in terms of organized play, but part of that is because of COVID, and I'm hopeful that maybe in a year or so things will somewhat have returned to what most of the players want. Because right now, like even the people that are in the MPL, it's not even clear that they want the MPL. You know, like most of us are really hungry for the Pro Tours as they were, and the Grand Prix system kind of as it was. Like we all loved that and loved, you know, the pro levels and stuff. So I'm hopeful that might come back down the road. We got, you know, after COVID, it finally goes away. Like we'll see what Grand Prix look like and how everything.
Do you think it can actually? Do you think that can actually go back? Because, you know, now that they have Arena, they kind of want to promote that, don't you think? Or maybe not. Maybe they just want to sell cards. Like, I don't know.
Yeah, I mean, it's pretty clear they were like trying something with Arena. Like they were trying to, you know, kind of mimic League of Legends and stuff, just with that successful streaming and that. So, and it's pretty clear that didn't work out as they wanted it to, or, you know. So I don't know, like I don't think they're gonna like revert back to how it was with, you know, 3 years ago with the Pro Tour and Grand Prix system, but I think that they could certainly do something close to it. But yeah, I mean, I really am not sure what it's going to look like a year from now. But like I said, I'm just so into the game that
When you're saying that you're like a lot into the game and you're gonna play regardless, how much are you actually playing on everyday basis right now?
So I probably play like, I don't know, maybe like 10 hours a day.
Oh, really?
On average.
Wow.
Yeah. And
that's crazy.
And like, yeah, I just, whatever is like competitively available, I'm playing. So if it's like the SCG or the PTQs or the Arena Opens or just Magic Online challenges, like whenever I can like scratch that competitive itch and win some money and have success, you know, the mocks, like I'm trying to compete in whatever is available to me. So yeah, I'm still playing a ton. Like I really love tuning decks and like figuring out metagames, and like I just I figure out what works for me. How, like, if I find a bad matchup, I try to figure out how to adjust to beat it. So it's all like a very individual, sort of like tailored process for me, and I just love it. Like it's, you know, it's my number one like enjoyable thing I enjoy, I guess.
Mm-hmm. Thanks for your time. It was awesome talking with you today. Maybe before we end this, you wanna tell people where they can find you on internet, like maybe Twitter and stuff like that. I just don't wanna cut it, so.
No, that's cool. Yeah, thanks for having me. I mean, my tag is Jaberwocki, and you can find me anywhere at Jaberwocki. Just Twitter, Magic Online, Arena. So that's about it. But yeah, thanks for having me, man.
Yep. If you guys like the video, please click on the like and subscribe button, and I'll see you next time. Bye bye.